tuning into the All I Need podcast.
But I'm just so glad it's skateboarding. It's been the one thing that came to me at the right time. It could have been anything I imagined, but skateboarding was what it was. So I love skateboarding to death. That's right when I found skateboarding. Like, my friend showed me it and I was like latched onto it because it was the only thing at that time that was really fun and like my escape. And I fell in love with it, you know?
Each and every episode is brought to you by All I Need. We are throwing the All I Need Summer Jam Skate Contest at Uxbridge, Mass. on July 10th, which is a Saturday. It is $50 to enter. All the entry fees go directly to the skate park fund. So if you come, shred, have a blast, you might win some prizes, some decks from All I Need, World Industries, Vulture Crew as well. And you're also supporting the park. Your entry fees go directly back into building more epic shit at the skate park. We have 3 divisions. We have a beginner division for all you young bucks out there that want to come throw down. We have a 35 and over division for all you legends out there that love skating and want to contribute and help the park grow. And then the big boys at the end. We will have the advanced division, the hungry AMs out there that want to come throw down. We also might do a best trick as well, but it's going to be an epic day, man. I'm going to hook up my PA system, which thumps, and I invited Brandon Westgate and Donnie Barley to come out, guest judge, guest announce with me. I'll have the microphone. We'll have an epic playlist going. Clyde Singleton said he might roll out. Let's see. That could be awesome. Again, that's Saturday, July 10th at Uxbridge, Mass. Skate Park. All I Need Summer Jam Skate Contest. Also, please check out allineedskate.com. That is our online skate shop, and we just put up 4 new t-shirts for pre-book on the site. Don't miss out. These are the most comfortable t-shirts, and these are brand new designs I'm super stoked on. I'll put them up here so you can see them. You can pop them up and see them. We always do limited runs on the t-shirts, so we are pre-booking these now so you can guarantee that you get one. We also have All I Need summertime shorts up on the site. We have our skateboard decks. A lot of you guys hit me up about the skateboard decks. I updated the online skate shop, so there are now 4 different sizes of most of our graphics. You got 8.1s, 8.2s, 8.3s, and 8.5s. All types of 6 skateboard graphics on there. Tons of apparel, socks, hoodies, you name it. We are also brought to you by the legendary World Industries. Please check out worldindustries.com for all the classic artwork, skateboard decks, and apparel. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? You're in luck. Our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Complement your summer bod with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining and calling your name, fellas. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Here is the Lawnmower 4.0. This thing's got a sleek design. It works, super easy to turn on and off. It trims perfectly, doesn't nick the nutsack. I really enjoy using this. Helps keep me clean. It will do the same for you. Chew. They also have their Weed Whacker, which is an electric nose and ear hair trimmer. I've been using both these products, and they work perfectly. They keep me nice and groomed up. My lady's been loving it. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code AIN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code AIN at manscaped.com. If you cop anything from our 3 sponsors, that directly helps keep this podcast rolling. If you want to help the show and you don't have the dough to cop anything from the sponsors, the easiest way to support the show is to go to the iTunes store, type in All I Need Skate Podcast, and rate and review our show. That helps move us up in the iTunes algorithm and helps get the show out there. It's a great way to support the podcast without having to spend any dough. And I love reading your reviews. And now for the episode with John Montesi. We talked all about his pro career with New Deal, going on tours all over the world, doing skate demos with the Ramones playing in the backdrop, demos in football stadiums, 25 years of his skate shop, Westside Skate Shop. He also gives some shout outs and talks about his relationships with Schmidt Sticks, Steve Douglas, Andy Howell, Ron Allen, Tyrone Olson. We talk about Spot Tampa, Thomas Taylor, Stratosphere Skate Shop, Chad Kramer, all types of epic humans, man. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm stoked for you to check it out. Keep killing it, my homies. You. Hell yeah, John. We figured this shit out.
What up? The Zoom meeting link from hell.
Yeah, man, we've been trying. This is day number 2, but we pulled it off, man.
No one wanted to hear us. That's why we were silenced on both sides.
Yeah, but in typical skateboarding fashion, we didn't give up. We were like, fuck it, dude. This trick's going down.
Of course, exactly. They don't want us skating here, but we don't care. We're making this shit happen.
Cool, man. Well, I'm stoked you made it. I'm stoked we made it. This is good.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no worries, man. I got some coffee. You got coffee too?
Dr. Pepper.
Damn, jealous.
Yeah, still I have like one or maybe 2 sodas a day. So
nice.
Treat myself here and there.
I get that. I kind of cut down on my soda consumption a while ago, but I still like if I come across a ginger ale, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, a lot of my friends don't drink it. I'll drink, like I said, maybe some days I won't drink it, but if I have something I need a little caffeine jolt, I'll do it. I don't drink coffee. It tweaks me out. It's like not meant for me.
Yeah, people that listen to my podcast know I've been battling with the coffee thing like off and on. I actually decided that I'd stop drinking coffee every day and just do it once in a while, mostly when I podcast.
Yeah, my buddy Adam Haley, he's up from Philly up there. He's a huge coffee addict. He like that's all he has. There's always a coffee in his hand. He actually ran Failure back in the day.
Failure. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. He's up in Vermont now building a house. But
oh, Vermont's beautiful, man.
Yeah, you're in Massachusetts. Oh, yeah. Speaking of stuff, I might as well let you know this. You're a fellow Massachusettsian. You're legendary chem dog.
Yeah,
glass blower, and then you guys just did recreational up there, and he runs the grow up there, but him and Mike Dare collabed together on a deck that's coming out
that
July
looks sick.
10th. I actually helped along with it, so we got a little made by Westside right there, but
damn, that's so sick. Yeah, so maybe the way we should start this off with is just like, what have you been up to? What's new? What's going on? What's your life, your daily struggles and stuff going on now? What's going on?
All right. Well, yeah, pretty much I have 3 kids, 3 boys, 1 16 and 13-year-old twins.
Nice.
So it's pretty much, the grind with children every day. Me and my wife, Liz, you met her. She hooked up the podcast, the visuals. And then, my guys run Westside Skate Shop. I kind of oversee everything. Got a little crew there, so they give me the freedom to be able to be home with my kids, So, do the shop, and then we're just finishing one of our first videos. We haven't done a video in a long time called Heat Stroke. It's all kind of the local kids around here. This one, it's going to be about like 25 or 30 minutes. We're premiering it on Go Skateboarding Day over at the Bricks. And then after this, next year will be 25 years of Westside. So we're going to do this video that's coming out to VX. It was just a bunch of old, bunch of VX stuff the guys all had. They wanted to kind of do a little VX project. The next one will be digital, and we'll be able to have everybody. So it'll be kind of people from the past, the new guys, hopefully some guest friends, maybe get some clips from Reynolds and people like that. So we'll see how that goes. Some Lenosi. So
Yeah, I was checking out the Westside YouTube channel like right before we started recording, and I saw a couple promos for Heat Stroke and
yeah.
Westside Wednesdays and stuff. You guys have been killing it.
Yeah, we started that. I hired Ryan, who's our filmer. I hired him kind of right before all the hell happened. And then since he's been on, we've been able to do the West Side Wednesdays, film for the video, and then now work on the next project. So I kind of wanted to. Skateboarding did well during the craziness, the pandemic, and I took that money, put it into Ryan, the filmer, started West Side Wednesdays, working on the video, and then be working on the 25 years. So I kind of took the money I made and threw it into the team guys, and
Yeah,
pot.
it's a good investment too, you know.
No, it's fun. I mean, it's cool seeing everybody come together, get their clips, travel, try to put a project together. So it's been fun. And this one's good because it kind of gives everybody a test of the water. So for the next video, like this one here, I don't have any clips. I just have one little just boring trick because I've been hurt, but hopefully for the next one, my body will let me skate for a little bit.
What's the injury?
I just third knee surgery. My back knee is just bone to bone, so it's just no fun.
What do they do for that one? They just clean it out?
Yeah, I kept cleaning it out, and then I had arthritis in there too. So when they cleaned it out and took the arthritis out, now when I skate, within like a half hour, my knee gets the size of like a watermelon, the back knee. So it's just hard to bend and jump. I can ride around, but jumping and compressing and stuff, that's when it starts to really put a damper in the game. Be 49 in 2 weeks. So happy birthday presents.
49 is pretty good, dude. You had a good run as far as probably jumping down stuff up to that point.
It's just one of those things, some people can go forever, and then some people just have that one slam that just screws you up, and then it's just hard to come back. I made it pretty long. I think when I was 42 is when I really like hurt the back knee, and then that surgery pretty much was the one that kind of was the battle since.
Yeah, I battle with knee issues too, man. I think we were talking about that before. Just my front knee just tore that when I was younger and never got it fixed and just skated through it. And then almost 40 now, 38.
Oh, you're so young.
Yeah, but my knee's like 65, it feels.
Yeah, dude. When they scoped my knee, the doctor said I had knees of a 65-year-old. 42 or 43. I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Look forward to, or 40. I was 45. Yeah. God, it's all a blur. Shit, it's been 4 years.
Well, let's go. Let's time travel back into the day. Let's go back to maybe let's just start with where you grew up, how you found your first board. Take me from there a little bit.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
We're going back. We're going back.
Going back. All right. So classic Florida, moved here, and I'm from Connecticut, Southbury, Connecticut. Moved to Florida when I was 8. Started skating when I was 12. So kind of tried everything else before then. Nothing worked. Tried football, got run over. Tried baseball, got bored. Tried soccer, broke all my fingers. And then I got come here. Then I got sister's boyfriend bought me a remote control skateboard, or no, remote control helicopter, and I brought it home. We started up. This was 83, 84, and started up, caught on fire, exploded. So we brought it back to Toys R Us. The next day, it was like $150. Sorry, my dog's crazy. Brought it back to here. I'll show you. Here, Angel. Say hi.
Oh, good boy. Good boy.
What are you doing? You want your ball? So not
That
too-
German Shepherd?
Yeah, Shepherd Husky, actually.
Oh,
Here,
nice.
Angel. Where you at?
Dude, I had no idea you were from Connecticut.
Yeah, born and raised in Connecticut. Came here, and then my dad came to America on the Andrea Dora. I think it was in 1958 from Italy.
Whoa.
And it sunk on the way back. It was like the Titanic, but it was a whole bunch of Italians, so you don't really hear about it. So I never really, like, my parents told me the story and I never really believed it. And then one day I was watching the History Channel and all of a sudden the Andrea Dora. And I was like, oh shit, they weren't lying. Like, for real. Like, really did come over on a boat. It really did sink. Like,
That's wild.
yeah. So my dad's full-blood Italian. He met my mom. She's from Vermont in Connecticut. So, boom, there's me and my sister.
Was the boat made of spaghetti? Is that why it's saying?
Yeah, I know, right? Tin can.
It's rigatoni.
Rigatoni, yeah. And gnocchi. It was a big potato boat. That's funny.
So silly.
All right. So anyway, so this helicopter blows up. It's all catches on fire. I look at my sister's boyfriend like, oh, killer. So we bring it back to Toys R Us. He's like, I'm bringing that back. So we bring it back to Toys R Us. And I'm walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden there's this glowing pink and orange things in a box. And I look over, and it's a Nash Executioner. And I was like, can I get that instead? And he looks at it, and it was like $25. And the helicopter was like $150. And he's like, sure. No problem. So he gets with this. I'm like, killer, I got a skateboard. Because let me go back before this. There was this roller rink called Astro Skate in Tarpon Springs. That's world back in the 80s and 90s. It was, I would probably say, world famous because there people came from all over visiting Florida and would end up at Astro. But pro wise, I mean, let me go before the pros. So there was this roller rink called Astro Skate, and they had this little mini ramp in a metal cage. And I was 12 years old. Yes, 12. I was 12. And I went there for, I think it was a 6th grade school party, and we're roller skating, and there's this dude skateboarding in this cage, and we're like, wow, that looks so cool. So I was just, so fast forward after that party, the helicopter blows up. I'm at Toys R Us. This is probably 3 weeks later, a month later, because school gets out June, birthday June 27th. So makes sense. See the skateboard, get skateboard. All right, start skating. Well, you know, Nash's, they didn't roll. So you get on, you push, you stop, push, you stop. So I show up at school with the Nash. All the kids have their boards and they're gone. And I'm like, hey guys, where'd everybody go? I'm like, this sucks. So I take board home, try it the next day. Everybody's gone. I'm like, what's going on? So I go, hey man, before they all took off on me in the second time, I go, let me see your board. And I got on, I was like, oh wow, I can like ride and catch up to you guys. He's like, yeah, I got this at Robbie's Sporting Goods at the mall. And I was all, Robbie's Sporting Goods. All right, so I go home. Angel, here, let me hold on one second.
Do your thing. You realize you didn't suck as bad because you had a shitty board.
Maybe I could do this one. Angel.
I like that painting in the background too.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. That's my buddy Hans did that. Anyway, sorry about that. The dog was going to drive us nuts the whole time. So I get on the board. I'm like, oh wow, this thing actually works. So I beg my parents, mow lawns, do all this stuff. Finally, bring me to Robbie's Sporting Goods in the mall. Walk in, and all the boards are way up top on the wall. And I'm just looking, and there's a white one with a skull and green wheels. And I'm like, I want that one. Well, it's the Vision Old Ghost Guardian. Come to find out, it's John Grigley. He was originally from St. Pete. He's out in LA now, but he was like St. Pete legend. So I kind of picked, a St. Pete local, then come to find out later, Grigley and Schmidt, then I rode for Schmidt Sticks, then New Deal. So it's kind of like weird how it all came together. But anyway, so Vision, Old Ghost Guardian, I get that. Finally can keep up with everybody, start skating, meet people like Mike Dare, my friend Shane Carpenter, start skating with those guys a lot, then create my own little crew of people, then get sponsored by this company called Exile. The guy came to Astro Skate because Astro Skate, after the mini ramp in the cage, when skating got more popular, they actually built a 6-foot ramp and a vert ramp in the back. The vert ramp in the back's for Mike Frazier and those guys would always skate.
Is this at this time it's just like not really full on street skating, it's just like a lot of launch ramps and mini
total
ramps?
Launch ramps. Yeah, it wasn't the crooked grind era and stuff. This was the ho-hos, jump ramps. This was pre 8th Street. So, because once Hocus Pocus came out, that's when they had like a full street course with hips and quarter pipes and everything. Time before, it would just be like ramps to a wall for wall riding over the door gaps, and jump ramping was that era.
That was
I had so much fun. The ho-ho and wall ride era, like big jump ramps and the flat, like that was a really fun time, I thought, in skating.
Yeah, my friend Kevin, he's like younger than me, but he kind of skates out of that era a little bit. He loves launch ramps and wall rides over stuff, and like he's totally of that, cut from that cloth.
Yeah, I always thought wall rides were rad because they're like a spider crawling a wall. It's like, I don't know, thought it was unique. You're like defying gravity. You're riding a wall.
Yeah, from an out, like if you don't know how it's done, it just looks impossible. You're like, oh.
Exactly. Like he's hauling ass, and you're like, how do you do that? Now, that's one of my hardest things to do because of my back and knee, because I don't have that power to pump. It's like, and once I hit the wall, I'm like,
just smash into the wall
like a turd. Hit the wall.
Yeah, I struggle with like straight wall rides. Like when I grew up skating like New York City, I was follow Steve Rodriguez from Fibro around, and he would be smashing into all the walls, and I could never really figure it out. Like, still can't to this day, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like I still can't do a regular hard flip. So, and some people are like, "Oh, it's just like, oh no." I did a switch once, but that was it. Never could do a regular hard flip.
What were your parents like about skateboarding? Were they cool with it? Your family?
Yeah, at first they didn't understand it. And then it was something they could drop me off, go shopping, come back and pick me up type of thing. So, and I was always, super doing it, super busy.
Babysitter style?
What's up?
Babysitter, like skateboard's your babysitter?
Yeah, kind of babysitter style. But then, they saw how that's all I wanted to do. So they were really supportive. Like if I wanted to go somewhere, they'd give me money or they'd send me whatever they could do. My dad, he came from Italy where he was during the war, he was locked in the basement with the men as the women were upstairs as the Germans came and attacked Italy. So he came from living on a farm, selling the meat to live, using the parts to make sauce to eat, like he came from a really poor family. So when he came to America and then finally got jobs and everything, he started bowling at the Lions Club. And he was like, strike, 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 strike. He just smashed the balls. He's a bigger Italian guy. So the one guy goes, well, why don't you try to, maybe do, try professional bowling? He's like, that ain't funny to feed my family. So they never understood like I worked construction with my dad in the morning. I'd either run the water truck or I'd help load some dump trucks, or, I'd go clean out houses or whatever, final grades or whatever jobs I had to do in that 1 o'clock. Then I could go and skate. Then I'd come home at like 10 at night and then wake up at 5 in the morning. So they saw my passion with it, and I put my time in to help. So they always kind of, if I needed money, they gave me money, gave me a car. But, I did my part too. It was kind of a balance. It was never like here's your check. You know what I mean? It was kind of like the Italian way. You do this, we take care of you this way type of thing. So
yeah, it's good. It's good to have that, man. Like just that structure and discipline and work ethic kind of built in as a young kid. Cause you know how it is. A lot of people get into something, they kind of drift off into delusion, thinking they're going to be the next star, and they don't even have any life skills, and you're like, what the fuck are you gonna do, bro?
Totally. Oh man, totally.
Yeah,
it's luckily, I mean, the era now though, it's crazy. Like the kids that work for my shop, when I was their age, I mean, they're like, yeah, I got some stock on my app and buying Bitcoin and all this and trading, and I'm like, I mean, like I would have never thought that level of it, but they're more into the tech world than the labor world. You know what I mean? Like ways to make money on your phone and stocks and stuff. Like,
yeah, they have the capabilities. Like we didn't really have the easy capability that they have now. Cause like a lot of my team riders are the same way. They're showing me their apps and their stocks, and they're going up and down and shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's just at your fingertips now, and you can figure it out.
Yeah, but do you guys know how to fix your mower? It's like does the app help with the mower? No.
And that's so true, man, because we're in desperate need of people that can do like trade school, like Voc school work, like plumbers and electricians.
Are you having that problem up north right now where the restaurants the tables are only half open because they don't have enough servers and cooks to work?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. I haven't really I've heard the news. You can't really trust any of the news or media.
It's so bad right here. It's so bad right now in Florida. There's billboards and signs everywhere because we've been pretty much open most of the time. So everyone's been flocking to Florida. I think we're getting like 3,000 people a day when we were getting like, what was it? 3,000 people a month. It's like changed. Yeah. It's like 3 million people a year or something crazy. So now it's 6 million or something, like, because people are selling their houses in California for 800,000, coming to Florida and buying a $300,000 house, and they got 500 G's in their pocket just to chill. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and Florida has been one that wasn't so hard on the restrictions, so it doesn't
feel so everyone's been running here. Yeah, it's been insane.
Yeah, up here it's just it's mellowed out. I feel like we had a good balance up here for the most part, but it's I know there's work issues, like people trying to find people to work is kind of I saw a McDonald's, someone told me they're hiring for $19 an hour.
They're paying like, I mean, you're only going to work part-time. They won't give you full-time at 19, but they're just trying to get anybody they can because no one wants to work because they're still getting their unemployment.
Yeah. Crazy times, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so go back to skateboarding.
Yes.
So I ride for this small company, Exile. The guy, Eric Stuck, comes to Astro Skate. They had a contest. He's like, hey, you ride for anybody? I was like, no. He's like, well, do you want to be sponsored by me? I was like, sure. What's sponsored? So he goes, well, I'm going to send you some boards. I'm like, all right, cool. So a week or two later, I get a box, and it was 2 boards. One was new, and one was the one he was riding, because he skated vert, so it just had like one little layer scratched off. And I was like a pig in shit, like, oh my God, look at this. And he had like little homemade stickers and everything. And the guy was super cool. He was in the military in Valdosta, Georgia, and he started this small little skateboard company. And he did it for a couple of years. We actually did like a little tour through Georgia to a couple skate parks. And I was like 15 then, maybe. So maybe 16. That was really cool. So anyway, so I'm riding for the small company. Then I get on a few other small people. I rode for like Small Room, Exile, Epic. I rode for Small Room, Epic, and then I was not really riding for anybody. And
Wait, Epic? Was it the shoe brand? Epic?
no, there was a board brand called Epic.
Okay.
It was up north. It was kind of like one of the cheesier things, but it was free. You know, back then it was free board. I remember
Yeah.
Motorbilt trucks because they sent me a free set. um, What was I saying? Anyway, so I go to St. Pete, had this pro contest, and I was riding for Thunder then. So I picked Trugy up from the airport and brought him down there. And I was down there hanging out. They let us skate the street course. It was in downtown St. Pete. It was the one like Gons was in. Jason Lee did I think Gons did the frontside 180, fakie 50-50 down the rail in the contest. So anyways, Ron Allen was there and he needed a ride to his hotel. So I was like, hey, I'll give you a ride. So I give him a ride down the street, and then he's like, he had his boards in his room, and he goes, hey, you want a board? I was like, oh, hell yeah. I bought like 4 of these, you know? So so I rode that board, went to Astro Skate. Again, Astro is the spot. Went there a week or 2 later. We went there every like Tuesday, every Saturday, whenever they had it. So we all went skating because they'd pull it out only on certain days you could skateboard. And Paul Smith shows up and he's like, saw me in the St. Pete qualifier contest. I think I got like 4th or 6th place to go to Alabama. And he saw me riding the 8th Street board. And he goes, you ride for 8th Street? And I was like, no, just Ron Allen gave me a board. And he's like, well, I got some Smith Sticks product in the car. You want to try it out? I was like, hell yeah. So I got the car and he gives me like 3 or 4 boards, pile of wheel, like this huge pile of shit. I'm just like, holy shit. And he's like, film for the Smith Sticks video. And, you know, maybe we'll get you a part or get on the team or something fully. And I was like, all right, cool. Little did I know that that video that I filmed was being watched for New Deal. And Andy Howell and those guys picked me out of my sponsor me video to Smith for New Deal. So I was one of the first 3 street skaters picked for the AM for New Deal. So
Sick, man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Thanks, Andy Howell. Thanks, Paul Smith. Thanks, Steve Douglas. All those guys. The best. Swarm. But
good on Ron Allen too to hook you up.
Yeah, so yeah, Ron Allen's like my brother. And Tyrone, T-Bone. That's our crew. Yeah, you gotta come to Tampa. You know who's riding out.
Yeah.
You've been here. You've chilled with us.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have you ever got T-Bone on?
Say it again.
Have you ever had T-Bone on?
I want to say yes. I've been doing this podcast for like 10 years, maybe more now. And I want to say,
I can't remember if you guys did one or not.
I did because I remember he was smoking out of his like bong thing the whole time.
That's awesome.
I know. It was awesome.
I love T-Bone. He's the best.
Yeah, he's
talk about someone that has not skipped a beat in ripping. My God, dude. Warrior. Still doing it. He's got like, so with the VX, he does all digital footage. So with the VX, we didn't have any VX stuff. So we're going to do a little commercial for the 25-year video with T-Bone's, some of T-Bone's digital footage, because he has like 2 or 3 parts right now. Like,
dude,
conquering he is.
It's fucking insane. He's like, he clearly loves skateboarding. He's obsessed. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so rad. He kills it too.
Yeah, and he never stops. Like with or without sponsors, he just keeps going, dude.
Yeah.
Which is how you know he's like, it's part of him, you know, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, there's the people like the naturals, you know, and it's like Mike Dare was a natural, T-Bone, Ron Allen's a natural, you know. There's just some people that, you know, you have to practice and practice and practice, and then like they still practice, but you know what I mean? They're just a natural. They never lose stuff, I guess. I don't know how you'd say it.
No, yeah, like I grew up skating with Zared, and Zared is
Yeah.
much like that.
Yeah,
Just,
a warrior.
yeah, just has it. You're like, how the fuck
Still
does this
killing
dude?
it.
Yeah, it's
Still
unbelievable.
killing it. I see him on his Instagram.
Yeah, I was always the dude that had to practice all the tricks, and he had them all. You know.
Yeah. But shit, Mike Dare would not skate for a month and be like, oh, hey, look, I just learned this today. You're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're like, I rolled my ankle 5 times, still trying that heaven.
Yeah, I
landed
can't
one.
even imagine doing it.
25 years is insane, man. Maybe let's go back to that, like starting the shop and how'd that come to be. And
yeah, so I had my career, pro career, New Deal. Let's see, turned pro in 91. End of 96, I started riding for Torque, Thomas Taylor's company in Atlanta.
yeah, Stormy Pruitt, my dude.
Yeah, Stormy, Grant Taylor's dad.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's who ran Torque.
Yeah, Thomas Mouse. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
shit.
He started
Oh, shit.
everything. Yeah. Me, Brian Chung, Chad Kramer. Yeah, it was a really fun time. Chad
my
Kramer's
homie
up by you guys.
Yeah, and my homie Craig Paiva was getting boards from Torque for a while too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he owns No Problemo up here in New Bedford, Mass. It's a Mexican restaurant. He's tied in with Solstice Skate Shop. Paiva.
All right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
shop's sick.
That's how I heard about Torque, because in New Bedford, it was like I was going to Solstice Skate Shop, and Paiva was like the skate rat but party dude, and he was always skating Torque, and he was telling me about it. It was sick.
Right. Yeah. So, so how did I do the shop? So I went on tour in 96.
Hold on. I'm sorry to stop you, but maybe I was jumping ahead, or yeah.
You're good.
Tell me a little more about New Deal. Like, how'd that go? Like, what was a pro career like at this time? Where'd you go? What videos?
That was the time of my life. I couldn't ask for a better time. Like, New Deal was, Smith and them and Douglas, they just were on it. They knew everybody, had the best distributors. I mean, now pros go everywhere, but for 1991 to 96, I went to like England, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, Holland, Japan, Australia, Colombia, South America, Dominican Republic, Australia.
Holy shit.
We went to Australia in 93 for a month, called Big Day Out there, which was like Lollapalooza here. It was us. It was me, Julian Stranger, Alan Peterson, Karma Toshev, and Ron Carnegie. And we toured Australia for a month with Ramones, Bjork, Soundgarden, Smashing Pumpkins.
What?
Did I say the Ramones and the Breeders and Bjork? And it was insane time in my life. Like I didn't even know what was going on. Kind of, it was just flying. You had Alan Peterson ollieing over the hips like 30 feet high. Back then when we had little ass wheels, and you're just like, these snake runs were like 12 feet deep, and you're just like, Australia was the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was funny, like there was like 5 concerts, and we'd be backstage or whatever. We'd do a demo, and then the bands would play. That's when I met Dustin Dolan. Tuss Pappas was out there then. Tuss was already in the US, back and forth because of Mad Circle then, but that trip was, that was during the fires too. So when we were going from different concerts, everything was burning, so all the hotels were fully packed, so we had to sleep on the beaches and stuff. And it was funny, so when we get there, we stop and we end up sleeping on the beaches, and we have a cooler of beer, and we go to bed. And when we wake up, the cooler of beer's gone. And they're all like, oh, that's cool, mate. When a party ends, the next party can come and take the beer and keep partying, and that's okay. And I was like, this is the coolest fucking place in the world. You know, you don't steal anything, but if there's beer, you're asleep, mate. That's our beer now. Like, it was just one of those Australian, you know. But that place, Australia is like Florida, California, and Hawaii all thrown together with a whole bunch of really cool people. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so fun. Like, I had to been probably the best place to ever been.
What the demos, what was the setup? Was it a mini ramp in a cage or was it street stuff?
Oh, street stuff. They had semis. We had school buses and big semis they set up a concert. It was in football stadiums.
Wow.
And it was full on like Lollapalooza. Like, fuck. They had trucks that would spray the crowd and the crowd would throw their beer at the truck. It was like, what a great marketing idea. Now they all got to go buy more beer and the truck would come every hour and spray everybody.
They don't have to buy it. They can just take it from whoever's sleeping.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's such an Australian thing. It's like it just keeps moving.
Yeah, just everybody keep having fun. It just shows take care of each other, you know, like don't take one up on someone. Like, we're all here for one reason. It's you getting better than that person's not gonna help anything, you know.
Yeah.
We all
That's
come
insane.
together, you know?
How old were you when you were doing all these trips?
Wow. 19 when I turned pro. So Australia, I was probably 21.
So it's like your college years, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and then 96, I went on a tour. That's when they put Bucky Lasek on, and who was that was the Bucky Lasek trip. And after that tour, that's when skating like changed. Everything was getting bigger. Trannies were getting bigger. It was getting into that era of 2000, you know, and I could just see it coming. Where skating
extreme
changed, bro. Yeah, and it was just like, I don't know if I can last through all this one. And I would be hanging out with Thomas because he owned Stratosphere and the skate shop, and that's where Torque was run out of. And I was just like, this is so cool, like selling everybody else. Like, I don't have to sell myself anymore. I can sell him, you know, and it was like, so he was my inspiration, my motivation to do the shop. And then also, you know, being out in SF, Kent from FTC, the way he did all of his videos and collaborated people from all over was how we kind of did our shop videos back then when we started. So I kind of took a California and a Georgia and kind of blended together and tried to create the West Side in Florida. So, and what's funny is when I opened, it was like I'm in Pinellas County, and then skate park at Tampa is in Hillsborough County. So we're about 45 minutes away traffic wise, maybe a half hour if it's a good day. But we're in two counties, so we work really good together. Well, back then there was just the park there. And I think it was World Market was open then too, but that was it for skateboarding. On this side, it was Mandalay and a couple like surf shops in the mall. So there was no skate shop. So when I opened, everybody on my side was like, "You're opening just selling skateboards? Like, you're not going to sell skimboards and swimsuits? He's not going to last. He's done." Well, the next year, the shoes hit. And I was friends with T-Bone from riding for TSA and stuff. So, boom, I had the inside with Osiris. I had probably 8 colorways of the D3 just flying through the door. I made so much money that next year on D3s. It was hilarious. I had every jock in school that come in like, "Yo, just got out of wrestling. You got that shoe? It's like this big." And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "I need the white ones." You know? Yeah. I mean, we had a closet. That's all it was with D3s. And then you would have, you know, your Etnies and your S, and you know, but that's all it was. It's just D3, you know. And
that's so good to hear.
Money. Yeah, and all that money, I then bought other shit, brought in other brands. And then once the D3 was done, I think it was the BAM hit. It was like, BAM, whoa. And then we had the BAM time. And I was like, yeah. Got through the BAM time. And then it was the Deerdick. The Deerdick time.
It's so rad to hear that, because it's like when you think of the D3, the BAM, and Deerdick, you think mainstream, you think almost like skateboarders are getting screwed off of that deal. But it's good to hear that that all translated to shop sales for you, who's a core skateboarder, you know?
Yeah, because back then there wasn't 5 Zoomies around me. There wasn't 5 van stores around me. There was just me and 3 surf shops.
Yeah.
So it was my time. And then what I heard too, what was fucked up was when they went to open stores. I'm not going to say either one who, I'm not going to pinpoint anybody, but when they went to open stores, they went to some of the companies and took their numbers and found their best sections and planted their stores around us. You know, it was just like, really? On top of us already battling against these, and then you give them an inside line, you know?
Yeah.
Just, and then what gets me is after all that, then Nike comes in and everyone's like, what's in corporate America? And I'm like, you guys already gave it to Zoomies and all these other people. Like, you know, of course these people can come in. And
Yeah.
the Nike thing and the Adidas, if you ride the waves right, they work. Sometimes you get washed out. Sometimes you ride the wave. You know, that's that battle of, you know, big business, you know. But
Yeah, it's funny because like skateboarding goes through the waves, the lows and the highs, and those corporations come in when you're up, and they, you know, if you can play it correctly, and then there's other times
when it's down, boy, they ain't nowhere.
that's when like the real T-bones and skaters carry the fucking shit forward regardless, you know.
Yeah, like now, you know, now I see a change. I don't know who yet it's going to be, but I see there's an opening for a new shoe, you know what I mean, department. I think we've had the Nike and the Adidas, we've had the smaller brands, but I think there's an opening now for someone to create something that all the people want to skate, that will be more of a functioning shoe than a style shoe, I think, is right now. There's nothing, you know how everything was so tech and they made everything so functionable and this works so well. Now everything just is like penny loafer, you know, just look cool. You know what I mean? There's no techness, I guess. So I think S is trying to really come back at that way. You know, they're bringing back their older stuff, but maybe I think if they change it and, you know, try to create a new tech shoe, I see as a retailer, I just see there's nothing be like, dude, this shoe is so comfortable, you know, lasts this much longer. You know what I mean? There's none of that anymore. Because when I had the shop, that was the first thing was, I'm tired of this, you know, and the kid shoes like, and it's like, I'm in here every month. And, you know,
for me, that shoe was a cost in one. It was like comfort, it lasted, it was like a good to jump down, you could still flick, like.
Yep. Yeah. That changed. That was the shoe that changed the shoe era. Just like the Janowski changed it to the casual looking boat shoe thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it's time for, you know, that new Costin or a new Janowski or a new something to change the style. I don't know.
I feel like you're right, because there is like a lot of, it's like almost a recycling. There's a lot of young kids getting into it again. So those kids are going to want to have comfortable shit on their feet and actually do the tricks. And that's what they're going to worship compared to just the image of it, you know?
Well, it's like when Nike came in, right? Nike came in with all these different tech shoes, Trey AD and all this stuff. And you had DVS trying to look like Vans and Emerica trying to look like Vans, and everyone tried to have a half cap up here. So it was all half cabs up here, and then you had Nike with all this tech stuff. So the consumer went to the tech stuff, so they had something to talk about and say, look how good this is and see what this has. And I don't feel we have that anymore. You know, it's just like colors on the wall and that's it. There's no story like for the shoe, I guess you would say, you know.
Yeah. So maybe what's some trials and tribulations with the shops that you've had over the years? Like any break-ins, anything crazy?
Oh yeah, well, back those times, yeah, I think we had like 4 attempts to break in. I have a steel door in the back with a big steel rod, you know, because they tried to bend the door open, so we had to put a steel rod in the back. Then the front, you got the glass with the double sticker stuff. So when they break it, it just shatters. And then behind that is bars. Because you got to remember, we have hurricanes here, so we're out of power sometimes for a couple of days. So I've always kind of had to make the shop somewhat Fort Knox-ish. And then, but the last knock on wood, the last few, probably 4 years have been okay. We had one incident where someone broke into a car into the parking lot, like ballsy, like 7 o'clock at night, like when the shop was still open, you know, like, but that's because they were kind of parked out in the back of the parking lot. But other than that, we've been all right kind of lately, you know. But yeah, I got cameras everywhere now. It's like, it's a lot different than it was, you know.
Has it only been one location for the full time?
I've had 3 at one time. Now I just have the Tarpon and Largo one, which is the perfect combo, I think. I like the 2 shops. Gives enough people hours and stuff like that too.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. And what about Tampa? Like, how's that tie in with everything you've been doing? Have you just been going to Tampa from the beginning, pretty much, the contest and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, I skated in them. So, you know, 96, I skated in them, and 95. I think I got 6th place in 95 and 9th place in 96 at Tampa Pro.
Hell yeah.
And I opened the shop in 97. So then I stopped skating the pro. Because then I felt, oh, cool, I got shop now. I don't have to do it. Then they came out with a TM contest, I think like 5 years later. I was like, oh, that's my turn now. So did those for some years. That was fun. Then Matlin became team manager. It was all over then. He won them all.
Yeah, Nick is so good, dude.
Have you seen him lately? Y'all have to follow Nick Matlin. He's on fire in his 40s. It's insane.
My next episode going up on Tuesday is with Nick Matlin.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Such a legend, and he's like learning tricks daily now, like at 42 or however old he is.
Yeah. He's had stuff in his mind for like 20 years, and he's like finally pulling it off. It's amazing.
Such a legend.
He's another natural too. Like, he got sponsored by Dogtown when he was like 9 or 10 years old at Astro. They came, he had a Dogtown adventure, and we're like, you little fucker. He got like all the dopest shit first. We're like, what the fuck? And him and his brother were rad because they look like Mario and Luigi. And Dad looked like King Mario. Yeah, we called them the Mario brothers when they were kids. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Matlin's like my little brother.
Yeah. Tell me a T-Bone story if you got one on deck.
The best one ever. So we're in Ybor. My wife and T-Bone take off. I'm like going somewhere. I was like, all right, I'll meet you guys over at Noah's studio. Our buddy Noah does art. He does these sculpture cans. It takes these Red Bull cans and he sculpts them with his hands and makes them on these spinny things. He's been traveled to Red Bull contest over in Switzerland. And I mean, it's amazing. I'll have to pull his Instagram up right here. But so they go over to Noah's studio to meet up with him. And, you know, I don't know if people have been to Ybor, but it's the most drunkest people in the world.
Yeah, Ebor's wild. For everyone listening, it's definitely wild. Wait, so are those made out of the actual cans? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
that's a Red Bull can that he takes his fingers and he does that all
Whoa,
by hand. It's unbelievable. He sold them for thousands of dollars.
that's intense.
Yeah. So they're at his studio, right? So they walk out the door, and there's this guy's like, "What's up?" And T-Bone goes, "Whoop-ah," and just knocks the guy out, grabs Liz, and walks up in the studio. Liz said it wasn't even two. The guy just said, "What's up?" Like he was gonna fight him, and in 2 seconds he's on the ground, knocked out. And my wife's like, being pulled up to the thing. Come on, let's go. And the guy they laid out.
It's like a casual knockout.
Just 2 seconds. Like you don't fuck with TiVo.
Yeah, no, dude, those are so insane, man.
Dude, it's incredible what he does. Like
That's
I said,
cool.
when you get a chance to check out his page, you guys will shit your pants. It's Noah Deletta, but
That's the name of his
he
Insta.
did all the art for the shop. He's my original artist. He's a friend of mine. In 1997, my friend gave me a laptop, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with this." So, hey, Noah, you want this? And he's like, "Cool." And that took his art from drawing and put it in, computers, do all my graphics, and then now he's doing this now.
That's so sick. It's nice when you find someone that's like got a passion in something and you can help each other out. That's fucking epic. Whoa,
He painted that of my son.
How big is that thing? That's huge.
Yeah, that's my first son. So when you have your first kid, you're like, "There's my first kid."
Yeah, that's awesome. The other two are like, "Where's our fucking painting?"
Yeah, that's what it is. The twins are like, "Why didn't we get a picture?" Oh, this is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it. This old New Deal.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, this is Brian Lottie.
Dang. Is that pencil or pen? It's hard to tell. Or is it ink?
It's an ink. It's a print. I think
print.
it's like
Okay.
screen printed.
That's sick.
Yeah, he gave it to me at a trade show. He's a cool dude.
That's so crazy, man. It made me think like have you had other jobs besides besides skateboarding? Because like around New Deal, were you getting paid just to skate? Because you were traveling a shit ton, so you must have been.
Yeah, I actually did pretty well. Like they said, I was the best-selling board for like 3 or 4 years. So we were guaranteed $1,500 a month, but I'd usually make around $2,000, $2,500. Nice. My best check, I think, was like $3,500 for my GI John board.
Nice, that's sick.
I remember getting that check and went down and got rims, a stereo, like blew the whole thing, like on my Civic, like. But that's that car is what you went everywhere to go skate and film. That was pretty much my house,
Yeah.
My buddy Cooley, he works for DGK. Well, when I first got that Civic, he rode for Mad Circle, so they sent Wingding and Cooley to me in Florida, and we went on a trip from Florida up to Alabama, Tennessee, and then North Carolina, and then came back down. So that's that car was my house, and then that car went to California, and the beginning of the Black Civic era.
Yeah, that's sick. You gotta look fresh in that thing if you're living in it.
Tony Hawk has one. I gotta get one.
That's true.
Yeah, the
Actually,
Burnout Project video. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I think Tony and Jason Ellis started a podcast recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was like, I didn't really look into it fully, but I saw like an episode where they were together, and I was like, I wonder if this is a one-off or if they actually just have a show together now. I'm have to look into it.
Ellis was cool. I remember he was I think what was he doing? X Games, San Francisco. I think he was one of the announcers or something for a little while. But
yeah,
I hung with them for a little bit.
So what's going on nowadays, man? With you have another board with New Deal out right now, like a reissue?
Oh yeah, this is when you feel old. So this is my first board 30 years ago. So this was the third color they made. The actual first. So this was pretty cool because This was the first color.
Yeah. That's sick,
I
dude.
never thought about this, but all my friends rode for Alien Workshop back in the day, and I came out with an alien graphic.
Yeah.
Oops.
By proxy. Yeah, you were just like, I want to do that.
Sorry. And this was funny because that's when we started like blazing and stuff. So I was like passing the doobie.
That's awesome. Is that a shape deck too? It's got like, it looks a little
Yeah,
round.
this is my original shape. This is the only impossible shape. Late shove it board.
Those are the 3 colorways?
Yeah, they came out with.
Damn, that looks sick, man. That's awesome. How's that feel? It's cool to have that out.
It's crazy. The only bad part is, like this came in and I'm like, oh, I suck now. So I'm just going to enjoy this part of it now. So it's that mental game, like when this came out, you had to produce and like, like that's why this is here. So it's weird, like getting it going, oh, could be a coffee table.
That's cool that you wanted to like, you were sick of like promoting yourself, and like you enjoyed the shop aspect of it where you just can promote other people's brands.
I've always enjoyed skateboarding and watching other people skateboard, like different styles and the way people skate. So when I started going to contests, half the time I'd be like, oh, that was sick. Oh, look at, oh, wait, I'm supposed to do something, like more starstruck, I guess you would say, kind of, because I don't know, just was that way. I guess I was kind of looked up to a lot of people,
Yeah, that's cool, man. I kind of can relate a little bit because I get overwhelmed at those events, and I'm definitely a fan of all the rippers. So you're like, it's good to be able to have a shop and share all their stuff,
I think, to me, honestly, like I've come to, I guess, I don't know, come to mind or come to myself that I did that. I had a lot of fun doing that. I did a lot of skating from then to now. It's like I never stopped and sat on the couch for 5 years and went, oh, hey, I think I'll skate. I've skated the whole way through, and then my injuries started taking me down. And then with my kids being older, that era of 10 to pretty much 16 or 18 is like your time with your kids where you can kind of try to teach them whatever you can. So, and I've always put skateboarding on the pedestal and the rest of my life down here. So it's kind of like I'm kind of turning it around for once and letting skateboarding be down here and trying to pay attention to my life more, I guess you would say.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of people. What's that?
That New Balance. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people out there that are like that. I was definitely like that. Like skateboarding's paramount, and then you kind of neglect other things, relationships and stuff in your life, and it's
yourself too. You don't really pay attention to actually who you are. You're trying to be something all the time, or try to, perform, or, like when you show up, oh, I got to do a kickflip, or, I got to do a big ollie, like, just because I'm here, I have to. Like, no, I don't. I can just watch everybody and enjoy it and not have the pressure that you got to show that I'm here and I'm still cool, or, you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, yeah, I agree, man.
So I don't know how Tony Hawk does it. I had a Tony Hawk, and I've already done all this, and I've already had this, and I got this, you know what I mean? And he's still I just saw something in Miami where he just did a blunt back tail at some Bitcoin thing, or, thing. I'm just like,
yeah, he like skated at a Bitcoin convention and like a ramp and stuff. I heard about that.
He's killing it. Does an eggplant or does a hand plant, blunt back tail. Like, I couldn't do a blunt back tail to save my life still. Then and now. Like, have you ever done a blunt back tail? Like, Well, I don't either.
Yeah, no, dude. Tony's still doing insane stuff, and he's like technically retired. I feel like he's been so successful that he has to. There's still just so many opportunities, and he probably can't stop because it's
That's
like
yeah. But just the ability to still be able to do it too. It's
physically.
a lot on your brain, like and
Yeah.
physically too, like
Yeah, the pressure, even the pressure you apply to yourself when you're trying to like create something or film something or shoot something for something, it's like a lot, man, to be able to do that. And those dudes done that. Remember like Danny Way, like jumping the Great Wall of China. There's like they put so much pressure like on themselves to perform a great stunt.
Dude, and he like sprained his ankle. They had to shoot him up with a bunch of cortisone and then do it raw. Like, that passion, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like stuntman shit at that point, dude.
Yeah, and he's another warrior. Like he's like, walks up like Terminator, and then he's
it's unbelievable.
Machine. Yeah.
They kind of hit that wave where everything was like that there was the top of the mountain wave where there's just money and opportunity if you're willing to jump the Great Wall, It's like,
yeah. I mean,
are you willing to jump out of a helicopter? Then let's go.
He's probably still living on that money. That's what paid for the house in Hawaii or something. It's like,
for real.
Just think about that though. He brought communist countries together for him to fly over their wall. How crazy is that? You ever think about that?
Yeah.
They had to like get together to let one land into the other. Like,
that's so wild to think about.
Yeah.
His backside air or whatever like united them.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? No one else can get through there, but Danny Way good.
Only if he does like a crazy air, then they're like, yeah, fine, fuck it.
That's okay. We're good.
I got an idea. He or someone, maybe Bob Burnquist, should go down to the border wall that Trump was building, fucking air that bitch straight up over, dude.
Airing walls left and right.
Let's break down some barriers right there. Fuck yeah.
The world nowadays, wow.
That's so awesome, man. On New Deal to be honest, man, I didn't even realize New Deal was doing too much because I'm kind of out of the loop just in work and being up in New England and
totally. They had New Deal, they did our era, then when they got rid of that era of New Deal, they waited about a year or two, and then they started the new crew of New Deal. I think it was in 2000. It was like Kenny Reed,
Ricky
Iola, Lincoln Uedo.
Ooh, so good.
Rob Gonzalez.
Yeah, Rob G.
Rob G. So, and then all those guys were the new era. And then Element blew up. So Element made all this money. They floated New Deal with the Element money. And New Deal did good. Those guys killed it. But those both worked really good together. Then they sold Element. Once they sold Element, they were just kind of like, I think they might have rode New Deal out for a little longer with 411 and stuff, but then that kind of wasn't working anymore. Graphics were changing, skating was changing. And then New Deal kind of just sat there. Someone, I think Paul and them still owned it, but it just sat there. No one did anything. When there's no pros, there was no nothing. So for 20 years, it just kind of sat, 15 years. And then on 30 years of it, Andy and Paul and Steve and Gorham got together and were like, hey, why don't we do a reissue of 30 years? We'll do 1990, 91, and 92. And that's where we're in right now, is on the 1991 series. And then 92, I think, is going to be Ron Knigge. I'm not sure who else. I'm excited to find out, but I know Ron's getting aboard for sure.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, all the graphics. I liked all the New Deal graphics, but my favorite were the first probably 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Was New Deal and Element, was that like giant distribution?
Yeah, giant distribution. So what happened was is Paul Smith owned Smith Sticks, and it was through Vision, and Vision finagled a way to steal Paul's name by buying Smith Sticks. So Paul lost Smith Sticks, the name. He was owned by Vision now. So Andy and Douglas and those guys, Gorham, were like, hey, we're done with Vision. We want to start our own thing. Why don't we do our own thing? And why don't we call it the New Deal? Because, our New Deal. And Paul was like, well, I can't do anything with it because of Smith Sticks. And they're like, well, you just be PS Sticks. You just be the wood shop and be the quiet guy. So Paul, PS Sticks was a wood shop for New Deal. Douglas and them ran it. And then once there was enough time, PS Sticks went on its own. Then they created Giant Distribution, which was 411, New Deal, Element, Mad Circle.
Yes.
And
dude, Mad Circle was
Destructo trucks too.
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to love Mad Circle, man. Bobby Pulio. I'm trying to think who else rode for him, but I just remember being super stoked on Mad Circle.
Ding, Mike Ko. He was the shit. Justin Gerard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, you're filling in gaps for me. I didn't realize Giant was 4-1 and New Deal and Mad Circle.
Yeah, and then Twist was the artist for Mad Circle, which was one of the most famous graffiti artists in San Francisco.
No shit.
Yeah, did all the twists. If you ever went in San Francisco and seen like screws looking stuff, that was Twist. Yeah.
No shit. Wow. I
never got to meet him or nothing, but I really like enjoyed seeing all of his art. And I loved all the graphics and stuff. That was Justin Gerard's thing out of SF.
Yeah.
That circle. So
it's so cool to hear this like behind the scenes like stuff about all this, because as a little kid I was just like you just like, I don't even know how old I was, but still like coming in, it's like seems like it's all the biggest shit in the world. You're like, these guys are, it's so big and unattainable, but then to hear the behind the scenes stories and who's involved and how it all connected is like, oh, these are just skateboarders doing this shit, finding ways to make it happen, basically.
Well, Underworld Element, is Element now. And Underworld Element did a video called Sky Pager, and it probably had to be one of the coolest videos that came out back then because it was so off the norm the way it was, the beep, beep. And Harold Hunter's part. Harold's got a part in that. I mean,
yeah, I remember seeing that.
Is like, yeah,
that shit was sick.
Sky Pagers are a good one. Yeah,
Element's still going too, man. Barley and Westgate live around me. They're not too far, so they're always doing stuff with Element, barrel jumps, and like.
Is Donnie still working for? Is Donnie still doing the stuff with Element?
As far as I know, I'm pretty sure I talked to him like a week ago because we're about to do a skate jam up here, and I was gonna have him come and we're gonna do a 35 and over division, and I was like, it'd be sick if we had Donnie Barley come announce that with me because like,
dude,
all those, exactly.
He's a natural too.
Oh, dude, just natural on the board, and then just natural with his style. Like he has one of those styles that you can tell is just he has it. It wasn't worked on too much.
Best backside tail in the business.
Oh man, shifty ollies, backside tails, backsmiths, pretty much everything he just does correctly. But I think he's still working with Element. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they're
down here with them. It was a lot of fun. Just because after the pandemic, that's why I was just curious. A lot of them.
That's what
starting back.
Yeah, that's why I'm not 100% sure, because the pandemic, I've kind of been out of the loop again, and I've just been so focused on everything we're doing with All I Need and World, and just it's been crazy. Like I'm kind of like you, John. Like I did the whole amateur or flow am pro thing, and like always had to like promote myself, and I wasn't a natural, so I always had to work really hard at like getting my name out there, getting my footage out there. It wasn't like, and then when I started my own brand, it was like, kind of a relief, because I was like, oh, I can just promote the brand with all my friends and hook them up, and they can do the skating and help them out instead of me having to be the face of something, you know?
You get
And
a
that
lot
was
more power to project that stuff when you don't have to perform too.
yeah, it's hard when you're trying to promote yourself, because it just seems like it seems wrong on some level, you know? But then when you get to the point where you can help others and promote them, it's like that's way easier for sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's like
Or
the pro, you never wear your own t-shirt.
yeah, yeah.
That was back in the day. I love Mike McGill. Hi, Mike McGill. We're Florida representative, but that was always a thing. Mike always wore his own shirt. We were like, oh, you can't wear your own shirt.
You guys were assholes. That's all that was.
Yeah, we were dicks.
Yeah, skating's changed. When I was younger, there was a lot more dicks involved, and they served a purpose, you know, like.
Well, you were just more vocal on your opinions.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
You could be more vocal on your opinions. You didn't have to filter yourself as much.
Yeah. This day and age is wild. It's like everyone's so connected, and everyone thinks they're starting a movement or changing the world, and it's like,
oh my god! And they're all hoarding toilet paper too.
yeah. It's like let's all relax and realize we're all one thing together that needs to figure out how to coexist. Like, stop trying to divide and conquer.
What got me is 90% of the people have a toilet next to a shower. So the whole toilet paper issue just never made sense to me.
Yeah, just take a shower, bro.
If you really came down to it, just time them.
Yeah. I bought a bidet because I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a bidet. Yeah. So my asshole is fucking little water in there.
Yeah. I remember the first time in Europe going, what the fuck is that thing? In the hotel. I was like, what's this thing? Push the button. I think that's a water fountain.
Oh man. Someone's done that for sure, dude. Just drinking it.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, man. So fucking just those things are awesome. It takes a little while to get used to when you have a bidet. First few squirts.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran now, though. I sit down, I hold that button for about a minute and a half.
So where do you live in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm like outside Boston by like a half an hour. I'm literally a stone's throw from the Foxborough Stadium where the Patriots play.
Okay.
I'm like maybe less than 10 minutes from there.
Cool.
I love where I'm at right now. I'm outside. I'm right near an indoor skate park. So when winter hits, I got the Edge indoor skate park. It's about 30,000 square foot indoor park that everybody goes to, because there's not a lot of indoor parks. There's one in Connecticut called the Hive, which my homie Charlie owns. That's a little smaller. It's still a good size, but it's not 30,000 square feet like the Edge. And then there's one in New Hampshire, which is Red Alert, which my homies own. And that one's even smaller. So there's only so many indoor parks. And when winter comes, it's intense. You know, you can't go outside for a long time. So we all end up at the Edge. People come from all over New England to go to Skater's Edge and skate. And it's a lifesaver. So having that, and then all these epic parks popping up all over the place outside. And then I'm right near Boston, so street skating and all these like surrounding suburbs and towns. There's so many spots. And then I'm 4 hours from New York City, so we could drive in there. Connecticut's got the cities too. I love where I'm at. I went out, did the whole California thing when I rode for Birdhouse and traveled with Tony and did all that stuff. That was epic. And then I got a chance to ride for Zoo York. And when I rode for Zoo York, I was like, I'm going the fuck home, because now I can be on the East Coast and make a living skating. And
for a Zoo York demo. Was it Zoo York demo or World demo when you guys came?
I'm trying to think. I want to think it was World Industries, maybe Andrew Cannon and me and Franklin and Mike Franklin.
Yes, I think that was that one. Yep.
Yeah.
That was that one. Yeah, we went to the Stewie's up there by your grandparents used to live.
Yeah, man. My grandparents would always come to the Tampa Ams and Pros and sit and sweat their balls off in the fucking stands. I was like, do they pass out while I'm doing my runs?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool. That's so cool.
I'm trying to go down to Tampa, maybe Tampa
October.
Pro.
October.
Yeah. Is that the Pro is October though, or no? Pro is
October.
Yeah. I'm trying to go down and maybe skate in the TM contest if they'll let me. Last time they kicked me out because I like had pop still.
Oh yeah, I know.
I was like, dude, I got riders. I signed my riders up. I'm over 35. I don't know what it takes to get in this.
Yeah,
thing.
you should argue if Matlin's entered, why can't I?
I think they'll let me in this year because my pop's dog shit. So they might be like, he's not gonna beat Clemens, so let him in, dude. You know what I mean? Because I'm like you, man. I wanted to go and like not have all the pressure, but I still wanted to pretend like I was something special.
Yeah,
in the
that was fun then. Yeah, and then Street League's coming to Jacksonville.
No shit.
Yeah, I just saw that. My friend just hit me up, and that's in November.
That's gonna be sick, man.
I've never been to one, so I think we're gonna go up and check it out. I think it'd be fun.
My good homie, Mike Hathaway, he was in the first All I Need video we produced. He moved down to Jacksonville and he just hangs out with Peterson and always filming and skating with him a lot, man.
Peterson killed it. He was just that spot. I saw the footage. They had an old man bull jam and he destroyed it. Backside boneless on that big ledge thing out of the bowl that's like 5 feet high into the bowl and kick. I think he did kick foot blunt. And like it's just fucking killed it.
He's much like T-Bone where he just keeps getting better.
Yes, he is the T-Bone of our Florida for sure.
That's a quote. Mike Peterson's the T-Bone of Florida.
Yeah, dude, he's the GOAT, boy. I mean, when you think he grew up at Kona, everything's like 10, 12 feet high. So everything's like a mini ditch to him probably, in his outlook. It's like,
yeah,
it's like playing game. Wee.
That's so true. Kona Park is a lot of big ass concrete and just like insane, man.
Yeah, me and Nick Matlin had a wheel company called Paradise Wheels for about 7 years, and Mike rode for us. So.
No shit. I didn't know that was you and Matlin doing. I think Matlin talked about Paradise Wheels. Maybe you mentioned that. But
we actually had a wheel that when you bought it, we put money to the conservation of the ocean back in the day. Yeah.
Damn. Good move, dude.
All the turtles and all the trash and all the pollution. Coming from Florida, it was one of the cool things we did. But that was really fun. That was fun doing that.
How was that? How was it running a wheel company or keeping it go? How long did you say you had it going?
Company, we had about 7 years. Matlin took care of all like the filming, the art, direction, all that. I did all the bookkeeping and everything. And it was really fun because wheels don't go bad. You can keep them if you keep them in the dark forever, for a really long time. They're not expensive. A set of wheels cost you, 10, 15 bucks compared to a deck could be 20, 25. Nowadays, some decks are 30, if they're screen printed or, everything's just gone up crazy. So wheels, you could get a lot made for a lot less. The only hard part with wheels is getting the graphic dialed. But luckily we had Noah from the cans. He's just a graphic genius. So he dialed that in right away. So we had really clean graphics too, which was cool.
That's so rad, man.
Yeah.
I remember Paradise seeing the ads and stuff too.
Yeah. FTK. Remember that magazine?
I had the cover of one of the issues.
You did have the cover. I remember that. That's right.
That was a big deal to me, dude. I was like, this is sick. That was actually, I had an interview. That's when I rode for New York. I had a full interview.
That's right. Yep, that's New York. Yep.
So crazy, man.
I know. Time's flown. I just can't believe it's been 30 years since. I can't believe the shop's 25 years. That's even crazier.
That's unbelievable to me, man, because I don't think people realize like the grind or the work it takes to maintain the shop through all the ups and downs. And like people it's a lot, man. It's not a given, you know.
No, it's, like you say, the wave is the hardest part, When it's good, you got to really kind of pay attention to your money and don't blow it. So when it's bad, you've got money to live off of, and that's kind of the balance we've had.
Yeah, the fact that you're a lifer and you truly love skateboarding helps, because there are people that get into shops and stuff and they don't actually live the lifestyle of skating and have all the community. They're going to have a real rough time when there's no popularity, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you got to love it. And like, if I need to turn 30 shoe boxes into a bed, I will. If we got to take a bunch of boards and turn them into a couch, we'll figure it out. What I mean? If you can't sell them, then turn them into your life, but.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on here too. This has been fun. Hope I didn't bore or put a bunch of people to sleep. Wake up. It's over.
No way, dude. No way. This was fucking awesome. The people that listen to the podcast are just people that love skateboarding and lifers, so they definitely enjoyed this. I know I did. You helped me out a lot.
Oh, thank you. I was really stoked when you hit me up to do this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come back on, man. We'll give it a few months, but we'll catch back
up.
We'll
have to do one where I'm at the shop and then I can go through. Like, what was cool about me being pro is we got to pick our own graphics and create our own graphics for pretty much 27 models, so probably around 22 of them. Each one was somewhere on tour. I picked up a pack of matches from Australia. This was a liquor bottle in, Australia, or, this one guy gave me this when I left here, so there's a bunch of stories, a bunch of history at the shop from you guys coming, different signed boards. I think I have the Zoo York board signed from you guys. Like, I think there's a bunch of stuff at the shop.
Well, that's our next episode. Then we'll do it at Westside, and you'll walk me through some of this epic shit you got.
That would be fun. Yeah. So
yeah, cool. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate everything, man. It was really good to catch up. You made me feel like less crazy as a human, because I love skating like you and have stuck with it. You know how sometimes you just get older and older, and you're like, "What the fuck am I doing?" But
I'm going to be 50 in a year. Don't tell me.
Yeah, but you're doing good, man, because you've done the amateur pro, you've done the family, you've started brands and companies and helped other people employ them and keep them going. You're getting the videos out there, helping those kids build identity and find a niche and create a little bit, get a little bit of money so they can figure out what they're doing. Like, you've done the full gambit, man, and it's inspiring to me, and it keeps me sane. It makes me want to keep going,
Oh,
so I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.